All right, you guys, good morning. We have a bit of a double header today. One, we'll be covering Sandoz Pharmaceuticals as it relates to the land of Oz. And also, I got a couple clips from a brand new TV series called Pluribus, which is about an alien invasion that has to do with changing the DNA. Now, believe it or not, both topics are actually related because Sandoz is a bioceutical company. It's always been about the DNA. Now, let's start with Sandoz. Good morning, everybody. Let's put this on live chat. The date today is November 24th, 2025, unless I decide to re-upload this at some point. Good morning, everybody. Now, let's get into this. What is Sandoz? Now, one of you sent this to me. Thank you for that. And you sent me some information about it. And then I tried to expand on that to provide for you guys a full decode on the Sandoz matrix. Now, what is Sandoz? Well, they're a Swiss company, and they started out doing generic drugs, but then they became the world-renowned Novartis company. And we'll break all that down and what that means, and what the word Sandoz means as well. Notice the word sand, like the Sandman. And Oz, which of course we now know means the land of sleep. This is why they named Ozempic by its name. It literally puts the inside of your body to sleep. The food stays in your stomach longer, you're not hungry. But what are the side effects of that? What are the dangers of that? There's a reason why food goes through our body at the speed that it does. Now, here's what's crazy. The logo for Sandoz is an inverted Superman logo. There it is there with the serpent inside the triangle. Now, I'm sure there's all kinds of alchemical reasons for this that you guys can expand on in the chat. But understand that this Superman logo is the serpent in the chest. That's what it is. It's what it's always been, which is code for twin spirits in one body, spirit possession. It is the inverted Superman insignia. Now, as I said, Sandoz had their beginnings in generic pharmaceuticals, and then they eventually became the pharmaceutical giant Novartis. And the products that originated out of Sandoz / Novartis, that is really the story here. This is what we're going to go over today. The different drugs that came to market really give it all away as to what this has always been about. Are you ready for this? No-Doz. Yes, No-Doz was a product of this company, of Novartis / let's find the picture here so you guys can see this. And essentially, it's, of course, is raw caffeine in a tablet. That's what No-Doz is. Wanted to show you the picture so you can see this. Oh, I got an idea. Let's just search the page. No-Doz. Here it is right here. Caffeine tablets, 100 milligrams. Everybody remembers these. Just 100 milligrams of caffeine. Whoa, look at this. Oz. Australia is the label that they show here. The land of Oz. AU is gold as well. And look, it's even in the gold band on the label. Whoa. Now, what's up with Sandoz? Well, even the Sandoz name is loaded. The land of Nod. And Oz. The land of Nod is where Cain was sent. And this is crazy. The first city that he built was Enoch, but he went to the land of Nod, which is dawn backwards, right? Whoa. Now, what else did these companies make? Well, Sandoz You ready for this one? SANDOZ made the LSD for the MK Ultra program. Here it is right here. Let's read. The CIA purchased quantities of LSD from SANDOZ for use in its illegal human experimentation program MK Ultra. SANDOZ withdrew the drug from the market in 1965. So, there you go. LSD takes you to the land of Oz, and these people knew this. They knew it. Now, there's a little bit more to this. They made also a popular drink. Why are they making food? Why are chemists who make drugs also making food? In this case, a drink mix called Ovaltine. Now, I grew up on Ovaltine. I remember the commercials. Geez, I should actually look at some of those vintage commercials. I bet you there are clues in those commercials. I should go onto YouTube and find the Ovaltine commercials that I specifically remember saying, I can't get over Ovaltine. Well, what you didn't probably know, and I didn't know this until I went down the rabbit hole, was that the original Ovaltine was actually named OVO-maltine. Not Ovaltine, OVO-maltine, like on your screen. Now, why did they call it this? Because it contained eggs, which is the word ovo, or we all know the word ovum. Well, then they shortened it to Ovaltine in 1909. Now, why would they make a children's drink with the word egg in it? It's because it's always been about the egg, hasn't it? Whoa. Now, you have to wonder if Novartis, the company that they became, that SANDOZ became, if that part of their name, the ova in their name, came from this concept of the egg. And when you look at their logo, this seems to suggest that this may be the case. Look at the logo. It's an egg that's pierced by a needle. It almost looks like in vitro fertilization. Whoa, what a trip. Now, we did lots of decodes on Novartis, remember? And we found, let me go back into the chat. What did we find on those decodes on Novartis? We found the headquarter building just 2 blocks away from Trump World Tower, along with all kinds of other pharmaceutical headquarters. In other words, Trump built his World Tower next to the UN building, and within a few blocks of many of the world headquarters of these pharmaceutical companies. It's as if he knew he would be the pharmaceutical president, and now we're seeing it all play out as Trump has sold out to the pharmaceutical companies, the very companies he pretended to go against, and now they're making all kinds of deals with AI and drug prices and the manufacture of drugs and cures for things and all these things. It's as if he knew. And yes, Gil Bates, I call him, was a tenant at Trump's World Tower. This goes back a very long time. Trump's World Tower, towering over the UN building. He was able to break all of the different, what's the word I'm looking for? Regulations on the height of the tower. They weren't supposed to have buildings that tall towering over the Secretariat building, but somehow Trump got it done. And this is why you see the Trump World Tower towering over all the pharmaceutical company buildings and the UN building. Wrap your brain around that. Now, here's where the plot thickens. Because SANDOZ, remember, they made LSD. They actually produced a series of psychedelic acid trip films. Now, I'm a little bit unclear as to if they actually produced these films or we're going to read this or part of it. But they got into these psychedelic films that seem to be like MK Ultra trigger films. Now, I'm not going to show you those films, of course. We're going to read about them. Psychedelic SANDOZ is the name of this article. And again, thanks to the subscriber that sent this to me. Thank you so much. But it talks all about the walking sleep and narcolepsy and states of consciousness and dreams. Essentially, the land of Oz confirmed. Remember, we had already found all this out through our study of the predictive programming in film, television, commercials about the land of Oz and what it really meant, remember? And now all this is being confirmed. Let's read a little bit of this. According to the company's catalogs, films belonging to the psychiatry category, elaborated by SANDOZ, represent the most voluminous part of the collection. Among them, the idea of altered states of consciousness is represented on different levels, from a mere topic appearing in films, narrative to a visual motive, and even a conceptual sense. The case of LSD production by Sandoz Laboratories was not picked up only to demonstrate the most popular, albeit not the most successful, example from the company's broad medical portfolio. Contrarily, as the impact of the substance on both actual and potential patients was not as considerable as in the other Sandoz medicines, it figured moreover as an extraordinary cultural phenomenon, mediating new thoughts and beliefs in the socio-political scene of the post-war era, indicating profound changes in the zeitgeist of that time. Now let's fast forward down to the bottom of this, and they actually show a list. Look at this. These are some screenshots from the films. You guys, this looks like what we're going to cover tomorrow. The electronic shock therapy machine, right? That we're going to cover in Return to Oz. That will be day after tomorrow. Sorry, not tomorrow, day after tomorrow. And the guy busts out this electric shock therapy machine and he shocks Dorothy with it. And this is when she goes to the land of Oz. That movie was from 1985. And I'm looking at these images and it looks like one of those shock machines. I don't know that to be true, but that's what it visually looks like. It looks like an owl. And the guy literally says that it looks like a face.
This electrical marvel will make it possible for you to sleep again.
And we will cover that on day after tomorrow. But there it is. You know, I'm not making it up. He says it looks like a face. These are the same images. The MK Ultra program. Unbelievable. Let me check with you guys. Wow. I know it's Monday and you're probably trying to figure this all out, but the evidence is solid. Now let's go back to this article here and go down to the bottom because actually talk about some of these movies. They show some images and there's a list of the movies down here. Here's the filmography. Now some of you know about these films, but understand they are directly attached to Sandoz Pharmaceuticals, formerly or now known as Novartis. Here are the films. Acid from 1971. Autoportrait d'une schizophrénie, 1978. Ballet sur un thème paraphrénique, 62. Concerto, I'm not going to read them all, but there they are for reference sake, and I'll link this article as well. Now there's a lot more to this article. Well, we don't have the time to go through this whole thing. Needless to say, directly connected to LSD and the land of Oz. Confirmed. So it is no longer a conspiracy theory. It is fact. Now, let me check in with you guys. Good morning. What the heck? Now, there's a brand new TV series that we're going to cover next. And it's about a body snatcher alien invasion. It actually fits into all this as well. The series is called Pluribus. which has the word plural in it. And it's essentially about all of humanity becoming one. Now I'm already through the first 4 episodes. I don't know how many total episodes there are, but here it is. Pluribus, Apple TV, and the I in Pluribus is stylized to look like the number 1. That's because they're all one. Plural obviously means many turned into one. Well, let's take a look at some of these clips here. And I got to be careful because I didn't really edit this correctly. So I'm just going to pretty much be pausing it intermittently. But this is all about changing the DNA, which of course SANDOZ is a biopharmaceutical company. It's all about the DNA. Let's watch.
It's made up of 4 tones representing guanine, uracil.
Now, the guy's voice you're hearing is the alien, but it's not really an alien. He's like, I'm not an alien. He goes, the signal that came from space restructured human DNA so that we could all be one with each other, is what he says. And he says everyone's maintained, their consciousness is maintained in their individual bodies, but also we fit the one whole consciousness in the human body. And he says this came from a signal from space. And he goes and talks about the amino acids that are present in the DNA strand. Let's keep watching.
For a nucleotide sequence, RNA thing per se. It is scientists have created this sequence in a lab. It is not a living thing per se. It is more akin to a virus.
They call it a virus. A psychic glue capable of binding all of us together. Does that sound familiar? Because it should.
Glue capable of binding that exactly either. It's kind of a psychic glue capable of binding us all together.
Now, what this reminds me of is Galoo from, gosh, it's hard to keep it all straight, you guys. Galoo is from Welcome to Derry that we just covered. This is why you got to stay up on the shows. It's the Pennywise Ancient. The Moosehead was his original form. That was on yesterday's show. And we all know that Galoo, the green moose, is also Gump from the land of Oz, which is also a green moosehead. Except, are you ready for this? Galoo, Gump, is made up of all of these pieces. Galoo, the moosehead, is Gump the moosehead from the land of Oz. Do you see how all this fits together? It's it, because it's a bunch of pieces of things put together. In this case, Gump is made up of a couch and the fronds of a palm tree, a broom for a tail, and all the people inside. Dorothy, the Tin Man, and TikTok in the back, Pumpkinhead, and the Scarecrow. Wow. Now, so it's about smashing all the DNA together into one, which is exactly the plot of Pluribus. Let's keep watching. Psychic Galoo, glue. Now, one of you said in the comment section yesterday, before these episodes ever even came out, well, actually, this episode might have came out. I think I'm in the first 2 episodes on this, which published like last week or maybe the week before. But one of you said that Galoo from Derry, Welcome to Derry, the moose, you said it was like glue. And you were right. Psychic glue. Let's keep watching here. I got another clip. Let's watch this here.
But you are currently talking to every person on Earth, including Davis Taffler.
So he basically, the signal comes through people's cell phone, it rearranges their DNA so that they can all be one. And he's literally talking to her through the TV. And they're all talking to her.
We're all one.
Wow. So there you go, you guys. Now, again, tomorrow will be the sequel to Return to Oz from it's called Return to Oz, sequel to The Wizard of Oz from 1985. For those of you that stuck around, I will play the trailer for you and we'll do a full breakdown. That will be day after tomorrow. I'm sorry, I keep saying tomorrow. Tomorrow will probably be a day off, but this will be day after tomorrow. And I'm going to play this for you. Now, before I do, good morning. Before I do, there is a trigger alert. If you've ever had electric shock therapy, I need you to turn off this live show right now, because this will trigger you. Okay, so I'm going to give you a minute to do that. We're going to watch the trailer, and then at that point, I'm going to cover a couple more headlines, and then we'll end the show today. Yeah, if you've had electric shock therapy, I need you to turn this live show off right now, because you will be triggered. Now, this is it.
This electrical marvel will make it possible for you to sleep again. To cheer Dorothy up. Now, this fella here has a face. You see it? And it will also get rid of all those bad waking dreams that you've been telling me about. Your aunt already knows that we are at the dawn of a new age. In just 2 months, it will be the year 1900.
Dawn of a new age. Are you awake? How can this be? 1985? Dawn mentioned again? The land of Nod, the land of Oz. Let's keep watching.
Will it hurt?
Well, no. It just manages electrical current. A new century. When it malfunctions, a blow to the head, for example, then the brain produces useless excess currents. And a century of electricity. The brain itself is an electrical machine. It's nothing but a machine. And wouldn't you know, madam, we have found out that sometimes the brain malfunctions. These excess currents are our dreams and delusions. Just like the dreams that you have, Dorothy. Now we have the means to control these excess currents.
Yes. Why did they bring you here, Dorothy? Because I can't sleep. It's Halloween soon. I know. Why do you have to tie me down?
So that you don't fall off.
I came all the way from the farm in the buggy and didn't fall off. I wish I wasn't tied down.
Nothing to worry about.
What are those?
Hello, Dorothy. How are you? Oh, when you're ready, we'll just put them over your ears, and pretty soon they'll draw all those unpleasant dreams out of your head. Then when you wake up, you'll never be bothered by them again. Well, I think we're almost ready.
Anything living that touches it turns to sand.
Now, for those of you that have gone through this, I understand why you need to turn this off. But for those that have not, how can we be brave for the children and defend the weak in our reality if we can't sit through and decode something that millions of children saw on TV. They're depending on us to get to the bottom of this. Channels like this are partially responsible for bringing people like Epstein to justice and getting the files released. Because remember, all this was a conspiracy theory 10 years ago. And now people are waking up. Your crown is in heaven. But, I hear people say, why do you look at such dark stuff? This was not considered. This was considered a children's movie in 1985. I wasn't the one that made it dark. I'm just showing you what's underneath the surface of it. The reality of it. Do we want to be ostriches and put our heads in the sand? Or do we want to know the truth about the reality so we can protect our children? That's the question that I have for you. So don't give in to the naysayers that say, well, I'm not edified by looking at this. Well, guess what? Maybe you should just go back to the warm, comfortable church where they're singing praises and telling you everything is just fine as you keep walking into every single trap that the devil lays for you. The Holy Spirit is not there. Think about the disciples. Did they turn their back on, doing an exorcism because it was too scary? Imagine how horrific that might have been. No, they were brave. And we can't even decode a mainstream movie that children got programmed by. People are like, we don't watch Enter the Stars anymore. It's just too dark. Well, darkness is the truth of the reality because the devil rules this world. And either you face it or you're going to get tricked by it. Let's keep watching.
Just my luck. Ah, there goes the water. High and dry.
If we stay on these stones, we'll be all right.
Come here, chicken!
Guaranteed to work perfectly for 1,000 years.
Oh, you don't believe that, do you?
I am Tic-Tac, the Royal Army of Oz. His Majesty the Scarecrow locked me in here and told me to wait for you. Good morning, little girl.
Good morning, sir.
Are you Dorothy Gale? And you may call me Tic-Tac.
Why weren't you turned to stone, just like everybody else?
If you keep me wound up, make sure my think works are extra tight and I will formulate a plan. I am only a machine, so I cannot be sorry or happy, no matter what happens.
Where's the scarecrow?
I'm a terrible person!
I believe I'll lock you in the tower for a few years till your head is ready. And then I'll take it. Different from my other heads.
A pumpkin, if you please. My name's Jack. Jack Pumpkinhead.
What happened to your mother?
She vanished. I think Mommy enchanted her. In Cabinet 31, with her original head.
Good. Now go and get the head, Jack. Hurry.
Yes, sir.
What's that?
The head of a gump. Belina, where's that cord? Over here, Belina. Excellent. Now we must dump the head in the front and tie Jack's feet together. Bring that mantelpiece to the desk and anoint the palm.
Right. Anoint the palm. Make sure you do the head so we can see where it's going.
Peog!
Peog?
That's it!
Here, Jack, give me your hand!
Now, here I am, flying through the air. The last thing I remember is walking through the forest and hearing a loud noise. What am I anyway?
We built you and brought you to life so that you could take us to the Gnome King to rescue the Scarecrow. You're just a thing with a dump's head on it.
I may not last very long. I don't feel too well put together.
Oh, don't say that.
The best thing to do is to keep flying until dawn.
Your friend is the thief.
Nico.
Oh, I'm finally late for egg!
My head.
I must say, this life is stranger than my last one.
Wow. Everything we've been talking about. Dorothy is obviously has to be the bride of Christ, losing their heads. And there's a whole subplot to that. We'll break all that down day after tomorrow. I've got a full show for you on that trailer that I just showed you. But let me get your thoughts on that, and then I'll cover a couple headlines, and then we'll end the show today. Wow. All the way back to 1985. Are you starting to see how now Trump is an ancient entity? There's too many clues. Now we have Gump the Moose, put together by all these parts, anointed. His palm was anointed, and he came to life. And said he was remembering his past lives. Yeah, pretty wild, right? Now, thanks to you, those of you that have that are on the backup channel, those are just re-uploads. But you see that there is a lot more views over there, aren't there? Like 3,000 people are watching the backup videos that are already published on this channel. It shows you that this channel is shadow banned. If that many people tune in to a re-upload that are supposed to be all the same subscribers from this channel, that tells you we're shadow banned. Okay. So thanks to those of you that go on the backup channel. I'm hoping the people that got lost on that channel can find this channel again and find our morning shows. And so thanks for your support over there. Hillary saying she was made in a garage. Wow. The movie is so dark. Yes, the movie is dark. Exactly. 1985, mainstream movie. Yep, kind of like Labyrinth. The moose sounded like Falcor. You should look into the miniseries 10 Man. Okay. The backup channel link is in the description of all the videos. It's just Enter the Stars Reloaded. But the link is, it's here on the main channel under the channel section. It's also in the description of all the videos. So, heck, we might just move over to the backup channel. It seems to get out to more people over there. We'll see. We'll play it by ear. For now, we'll stay where we're at. But yeah, YouTube's playing games. They are playing games. It's okay. We'll work around it. Now let's get in a couple of these headlines. Ready for this? No thank you. Eat Thanksgiving dinner early. Try 666 walking. No thank you. Right in our faces. The latest trend is 666 walking, which helps strengthen muscles and lower blood pressure. Wow. Normalizing the mark of the beast. Japanese walking, Nordic walking, long walks, short walks. There's no shortage of ways to get in a walk, which is a great idea after all that sleep-inducing Thanksgiving turkey. Try 666 walking. The trend involves 6-minute warm-up before doing a brisk 60-minute walk, followed by 6-minute cool down. This remind you of something? 6 feet apart, social distancing, 6 feet under when you're dead. Wow. Predictive programming. Now, if you haven't heard by now, Trump is now punishing the right. How? By basically gaslighting us. Met with Mamdani at the White House, if you haven't heard this by now, patting the guy on the shoulder, telling him he's going to do great. This is gaslighting. It's to scare you back into the paradigm. Oh, we can't have Trump going socialist now and hanging out with Mamdani. He even dressed like Mamdani. If you hadn't heard, Mamdani is the mayor-elect for New York, who straight up is a socialist. He wants to change everything. And Trump's pretending to be his best buddy now after they exchanged words, had him in the White House, and said he's looking forward to what he can do in New York. And again, this is supposed to scare the right, to punish all of us for demanding that the Epstein files be released. It's supposed to scare you. Now, we've always told you that Trump was the Gemini Janus president, even all the way back to the first presidency. And I told you he would win again, and his next presidency would be completely different. And all of that has come to pass, just as we said it would. And I told you we would be seeing a very different Trump, and nobody can deny that that's happening. In fact, Trump often basically says things of the opposite of what he said before. He contradicts his own words regularly. So, this is the state of the world. There's only one hope. Hopefully, all of this information reinforces the fact that you should all be saved at this point. You should see the Holy Spirit working on this channel. See that God wants you to see these things so you can wake up out of the right-left paradigm. Put your trust in Jesus Christ. He's the only way out of this. And he is the core of everything you're watching here. Your inspirations, so that you can wake up. It puzzles me sometimes. People come to the channel and they're like, I love your channel, except I don't believe in God, or I don't believe in Jesus. I'm like, every single show we give the credit to God and the Most High and his Son. How can you, without God, none of this would be possible. Okay. And no one can deny it. This channel is much different than any other true channel out there, with the daily revelations connecting over and over and over again, reinforcing theories going back 10 years on this channel. This is why we do the re-uploads, to show you the repetition, to show you that we're not just pulling things out of thin air. It's all inspired. So if you come to this channel, the core belief of this channel is the Bible and Jesus Christ. All right. This is why they've shadow banned us. It's too powerful. The world saw these decodes and saw all this stuff repeating over and over again. It would actually change something. People would wake up. So they shoved us in a corner, and we're just continuing on. All right. I'm in the chat, you guys. Okay. Choppers flying around Crystal. Now, how many of you got a notification this morning? Let's do a test here. Okay, start a poll. Did you get... This is how we hold YouTube accountable. Because I can't imagine with 125,000 subscribers, if every single person got a notification, that they wouldn't, at least half of them would be here today, or a third of them. A notification. Or did you just find the show today? Did you get a notification? If I could spell this morning, notification this morning for the show. And I think what they do is they send out notifications for our core group, the 400 or 500 of you that show up every day. And then they just don't send out notifications for everybody else, I think is the way it works. So about 2/3 of you, most of you got a notification. So about 2/3, 3/4. Yeah, so I think that's how they've done this to give the appearance as though, you know, they're being fair, but really they just pick our core group. So count yourself as blessed if you're part of the 75% that did get a notification, because you've been hand selected by YouTube to get your notifications. I don't think anyone else is. So, all right. Well, thanks for doing the poll, you guys. Appreciate that. All right. There won't be any show tomorrow on this channel, but I will see you guys on the backup channel. There's a couple automatic shows uploading. I think one's tonight, re-upload from this channel, and I'll see you guys on a Wednesday. All right. I love each and every one of you. Have a great rest of your day, you guys. Much love.